Yes, a very good morning and welcome back to another daily market outlook. Euro dollar is moving further in towards the upside. As we can see, last week we reacted to that area of demand here on the 4-hour, which we were looking at for quite some time. The market reversed from there after providing us with a fractal change in the overall structure down below over here. And since then, we have just continued moving up higher in towards the upside. Now, for the rest of today, what I'm looking for is still further upside continuation. I'm looking for this high to get taken out. At the moment, I do not really have any faith that this area of supply is going to hold. Obviously, always when you get kind of these big moves in towards the downside, there's no liquidation in the move itself. So what often happens is that the initial downside moves becomes your liquidation. That is then the liquidation, and that is then when you could see a potential further drop off. But as of yet, I'm not really seeing any bearish momentum come in the market from euro dollar. That's why I'm more kind of convinced for now that we're most likely just going to grab the liquidity above these highs and move up in towards the upside. So keeping that in mind, obviously we still have this area of supply pretty much until over here still open, which we could move in towards, and then obviously from there I would be looking for a short. Let's say today we could still move a little bit further in towards the downside, in towards this overall area of demand, and then just continue up higher and grab the liquidity if we do not already just move in towards the upside ourselves. So that is euro dollar. Going in towards the 15-minute time frame, what we can then see is pretty much that we have been in that internal bullish trend. So this is the bearish trend, right? All the way from this high, all the way down in towards this low. Then what happened? We got that internal trend shift, and then a lot of bullish momentum coming in towards the markets. We pulled back very beautifully last week, Friday, in towards that area of demand. And then from there, we just saw a V-shaped reaction, a lot of demand coming in towards the market and continuing further in towards the upside. As of now, what we can really see is that we've pretty much just been consolidating, ascending pretty much. But what I'm definitely waiting for is for this high to get taken out very, very soon. That is what I expect for the rest of today. So slightly further upside movements here on euro dollar. Going in towards the dollar index then, what are we seeing over there? Well, if we go in towards the 4-hour, we are actually inside this refined area of demand. So the dollar index should actually move up higher. However, if we go in towards the higher time frame, what you can then see is that the daily is now currently positioned inside supply and is reacting to that area of supply. Furthermore, we kind of came in with ascending corrective price action in towards those highs. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a little bit of a deeper correction on the dollar index. Next to that, if we go in towards the weekly time frame, then you can also see that we've now been reacting to this buy before the sell candle over here on the weekly time frame, which is now suppressing price and pushing it in towards the downside. So a healthy pullback here on the daily and on the 4-hour would not be a major issue. Obviously, we could start reacting very bullish again. As we can see, we already did in fact see the initial bullish reaction over there on the dollar index. But as long as pretty much the internal trend just continues to be bearish, we will continue to look for some further downside. It's not looking very good. Obviously, also no liquidation over here, so that's why we're now liquidating our initial low. So if the dollar would want to move up higher, we would now need to see some bullish intentions come in, some real bullish momentum, let's say, start to break even this high over here, because for now, as we can clearly see, we're just remaining bearish in towards downside. This was your low over here, this was your high. We made a pullback in towards supply, pretty much in towards the 50% mark of that bearish leg, and then have just continued down lower. So for now, just wait and trade with that bearish momentum in towards the downside, and keep in mind that the daily and the weekly could still provide us with a deeper downside correction for now. All is still bullish until we break this low over here, which is your swing low. So moving on in towards Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar over here, definitely looking for further upside on this pair. As we can see, we pretty much, if we go in towards a daily time frame, grab the liquidity underneath this swing low over here, as you can see, and then after that just saw a V-shaped reaction towards the highs. Now a fractal change in the overall structure here on the daily. We broke this daily fractal and pretty much also this daily area of supply. Not really a reaction, so now looking for the Aussie dollar to continue up higher. Also going in towards the 4-hour time frame, we can currently see that this supply zone did in fact cause some suppression in price, but we just made a small pullback back down in towards this demand zone before then continuing up higher. So 4-hour fractal structure is now also bullish from this low in towards this high. So if we do pull back today in towards that 4-hour zone, that is from where you can look for a long, or if it happens tomorrow. Until then, I do expect Aussie dollar to kind of continue up further in towards the highs with the overall order flow, and the overall order flow is just simply following the overall demand flow. So you can clearly see the sell and then before the buy, boom, move up, consolidate, move back in towards that area of demand, move back up. So now I'm just pretty much looking for the exact same price action here on Aussie dollar. So that is Aussie dollar. For the rest, nothing really that interesting that I'm looking at. This is pretty much what I expect euro dollar to do, and Aussie dollar is just moving forward on business. So going further in towards pound dollar. So pound dollar here on the 4-hour time frame is more bearish than the other ones, mainly due to fundamentals. So now looking at pound dollar, this is your high, this is your low, price pulled back, and I mean, yeah, like internally, what you've now seen is that the fractal structure similar to Aussie dollar is now still bullish. So that you have some demand inside here. Maybe we move in towards there before moving in towards this supply zone, and then there's still potential for pound dollar to move up even higher in towards, for example, over here. I mean, we've pretty much grabbed the liquidity below this kind of like box range, which we had over here. We moved in towards a higher time frame demand zone, and as you can see, we saw a strong reaction out of it, pulled back in, and now pulled back out of it again. So what I'm looking for now is just a little bit further upside on pound dollar for the rest of the beginning of this week, before maybe towards the end of the week then pulling back down again from either one of those zones. So for now, short-term upside, or if we do pull back a little bit more, we could still move in towards demand, from where we could look for a potential further upside movement. Now going in towards NZD USD. So NZD USD is moving up higher. I'm still expecting this to move up even higher actually, despite the overall 4-hour to be bearish still from this high in towards this low. But yeah, I mean, we pulled back in towards supply, and then we can see we failed to break this low over here, the 4-hour low. So that means that there was actually a lot of demand. Last week I did mention like the overall price action on NZD USD is pretty rangy. But yeah, for now, I do kind of expect to grab the liquidity above this trend line and move in towards this fresh area of supply. So that's what I'm looking for at the moment. We reacted to this area of 4-hour demand from here. So kind of like a V-shaped reaction. And since then, if you zoom in towards the market, you can see that we've just been following the overall demand flow. So now if the market were to push down, I would look for longs from here, further back up in towards highs. Otherwise, just follow kind of like the demand flow that you see and trade NZD USD up higher in towards that 4-hour area of supply. So that's NZD USD. Waiting for a little bit more development on all of these pairs though. Most likely will not get into trades until tomorrow. Now moving in towards gold. So gold is a little bit different. Gold moved down exactly in towards that area of demand, which we've been waiting for a very long time. Now on gold, what I'm waiting for is further upside. Overall, pretty much what happened was that gold was consolidating for a pretty long time over here inside of this box. So then what happens is that we move in towards daily demand and even that 4-hour demand zone over here, and we pretty much liquidate the entire range and this entire trend line, which I did actually point out already for a few weeks. So we took out all the liquidity, then V-shaped reaction pretty much now in towards the highs. We're kind of breaking this descending structure. So what I'm now waiting for is further upside movements again. So I've already drawn in this zone number 1 from where I'm looking for a potential further upside movement. This is already high probability, but it would be even higher probability if we do take out this high first, then pull back, and then maybe create another fresh zone over here from where I would also be happy to go long from. So looking for those gold longs for the rest of this week. If we do already pull back, look at this zone. If we do break, let's say this high, and the momentum is higher, then we maybe would already be ready to form a zone over here, and then we can already go long. So yeah, keep that in mind. Looking at the daily also looking good to move up higher. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to join Discord, and I'll see you there. Thanks, guys.